Hi there. This is the only show devoted to amateur baseball, and my name is Darren Sutton. This is Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings. We've got an amazing show for you this week. There's a brand new number one. As we look ahead to the 2022 class, we'll tell you who it is, and somebody definitely made a jump to the very top spot in the 22 class in the land. There's a man who throws with both arms, and we've gotten to know him as a Perfect Game All-American. Jurrangelo Cijntje will join us, a deep feature on who this young man is, on his experience from the World Wood Bat Association World Championship. Brand new commitment from him as well. Andrew Wiggins is one of the top players in the 2023 class, but faith, family, all match high skill for him. Excited to have him on. He will join us as a guest. And really thrilled to get to know one of the grittiest, toughest, hardworking pitchers who was an all-star in the big leagues this year. Chris Bassitt, mid-major guy, by the way, who made it all the way to the major leagues. His story, he will join us on Perfect Game Weekly. But let's get it going. Let's crank it up, turn it up. Up is the way we go. Here is the warm-up. Big news out of San Francisco over the weekend. A dozen years in the big leagues, and Buster Posey has called it a career. What a career it was. One of only two players in Major League Baseball history to win Rookie of the Year, an MVP, and 3 World Series rings. He collected his 1,500th career hit in his final regular season game. He's the only catcher in history to hit better than 300 in his final season. And it wasn't all offense. The 2016 Gold Glove winner allowed just 27 pass balls in nearly 10,000 career innings. That's an average of about a pass ball every month and a half. By the way, Posey will be inducted into the PG Hall of Fame on December the 2nd. You remember him, don't you, if you look back at his journey? He was an 04 Perfect Game All-American. He went to PG National as a right-handed pitcher and a shortstop, a pitcher that touched 93, 94 miles an hour at the Jupiter event with the East Cobb Astros. Congratulations, Mr. Posey. Staying in the big leagues, it's that time of year. Major League Baseball and Rawlings kicking off hardware season, announcing Gold Glove winners on Sunday night. The Cardinals, they snagged a record 5 in the National League, led by 2008 National Showcase standout Nolan Arenado, winning the 9th Gold Glove of his career in the American League. 2011 PG All-American Classic MVP Joey Gallo picked up his 2nd straight. In all, 15 PG alumni were among the 18 winners. To PG International, Brian Rincones, a right-hander from Aruba. That's right, Aruba. He put on a show in Miami on Saturday afternoon. The uncommitted 22 sat 87 to 89, touching 90 while fanning 8 hitters and 3 innings en route to being named to the top prospect list at the Miami Showcase. He plays for the Miami Miracles. As a matter of fact, he's been to a handful of Perfect Game events all the way back in 17. He went to the freshman event. His dad is Elwin. His mom is Unida. We are excited for him and his journey. To Commitment Corner, Tucker Holland. This is a big physical presence. The number 10 lefty in the 2023 class, announcing over the weekend he'll be taking his talents to Arkansas. The 6'5", 240-pounder out of Burlington, North Carolina, has been dominating this summer, striking out 37, 26 scoreless innings at PG events. His dad, by the way, his coach at Burlington School, college baseball player too, Mount Olive Hall of Fame. Hey, by the way, speaking of commitments, Termarr Johnson out of Georgia has long been one of the most famous uncommitted, and we can't wait to see where he commits to, top of the class of 22 ranked players. And we've watched his journey so closely. Well, those rankings have shuffled according to Perfect Game, and Termarr may or may not be moving. Let's take a look at the brand new class of 2022, the top tier, that is. Here we go. Here are the top 10. Jamar Johnson, last travel team he played for, MLB Breakthrough Series team. Elijah Green is a generational talent. He is committed to go to Miami. Dylan Lesko has been up into the high 90s. He's been to 39 tournaments and has been 39 times an all-tournament PG team member. Incredible. Andrew Jones committed to go to Vanderbilt. Jason Jones to Arkansas. Jones is some kind of special. Jackson Ferris, talented left-hander, an Ole Miss commit. Brock Porter's out of the Midwest, and then at the number 9 spot, Noah Schultz. The Midwestern guys. Bit of a theme we'll keep going in this one. Brandon Barriera, a talented left-handed pitcher, one of 4 Vandy commits on this list. And Levi Huseman, this young man was hanging around that 80 spot, 82 when he pitched in October at the event in Jupiter, Florida. Number 10, magical jump for the gifted, talented lefty. Sky's the limit for him. When we come back, a conversation with a young man who's a year behind but is chasing that same sky's the limit with his mentality. We'll get to know Andrew Wiggins, and also, later on in the show, a Major League Baseball All-Star and his amateur journey. It's Chris Bassitt on Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings.
It started with a simple idea: to break what the game knows, to evolve the standard. It's time to revolutionize defense. Printed in 4D for a breakthrough in technology. Ultra lightweight, resilient, form fit, game ready and pro tested. Designed for a revolution. Engineered for defense. The Rev 1X.
Custom gear is important to me because it just represents who you are. Me as a kid, I remember I used to always look up at all the big leaguers at the time and see what they would wear. You couldn't get that stuff, in the stores. So now being able to customize basically everything I wear on the field, and it's one-on-one, I think that's just something special. I worked really hard to get here, and we get to do some swag and put your own flavor onto the field and show people, who you really are. Customs are one-on-one, just like me. G-Form, made for the moment.
We welcome you back to Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings, and a rising star out of the Midwest. The number 2 player in the state of Indiana in the 2023 class is an IU commit, of course, Hoosier baseball. Andrew Wiggins spends time with us. Now, we've enjoyed getting to know him after the summer he had. Andrew, thanks for hanging out with us. We really appreciate you joining Perfect Game Weekly.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
You went into 21 ready to roll, and I look at different events like that 16U WWBA in Georgia. You were all tournament, had a 609 on base. You homered 3 times at that event. How proud are you, while still working hard, but how thrilled were you to have the summer you did?
It was absolutely thrilling. It was just a great summer, just to get better in the exposure. It was fun to go along with it. Playing with that high-level talent, all throughout the summer was very eye-opening. And it was an important experience for me, so I really took that to heart, and going into the winter, just working on things that I need to work on during the summer, so just getting better.
Walk us through just a few keys to your left-handed swing, mechanically, from the spikes to the helmet, some of the most important things you tell yourself when you're hitting.
Just stay back and don't get too far out in front. As a tall frame like I am, want to extend the hand as much as possible. Quiet hands, just, 6 inches from the shoulder, a little wiggle. And small leg kick and going forward, fills up the whole box, and the hands just explode to the ball.
When you do what you do, and I loved watching it, but is there someone specific at the highest levels that you lock in on, you grab videos of because you think to yourself, I'm going to learn from him. I see a little bit of myself from him. Who is that guy?
Probably for me, it'd probably be Aaron Judge. Just the way that, he comes into bat and approaches his at bats. Pitchers will pitch around him because, he can do damage. And I see that a lot in myself, and again, a lot of breaking balls during the summer. And so knowing how to hit those off-speed pitches as well as the fastball is really important. I see him doing that. And, great player as he is, trying to model my game after that, and still being my own self.
My friend, you've got a good education at home. And when I think about your mom, Camille, who's an attorney who, by the way, played 2 college sports, and your dad, who's a pastor of Horizons Church in Indianapolis, who he himself played 3 college sports. They were at Earlman College. You've got to be able to bend the ear of your parents a lot, simply put, not just about being a man, but about being a college athlete. Have you done so?
Absolutely. Yeah, and from an early age, they've definitely pressed the importance of academics and how it can lead you to open doors in your life that you never thought would open. So having academics as, a gateway into this baseball thing is very important to me. As well as balancing both of them because, at one point, I won't be able to play baseball anymore. So you have to do something. And that thing for me is academics.
And much closer to your age is your sister, Ari. I don't even know where to go with asking you about her because she's at University of Michigan on the basketball team. She was a McDonald's All-American nominee, balled to nearly 2,000 points in her high school career. Tell me all about Big Sis. First of all, what kind of basketball player she is. And secondly, you had to have learned watching her too.
Absolutely. Just the work ethic she has, just to go up against those bigger girls and still, have a presence on the court is really important. I see that, just to have a presence on the field, when I step on, if someone knows I'm there, her leading me through her journey, picking Michigan actually helped me as my choice to IU. Just taking notes from her is really important to me. And I model a lot of things after her because she's just a great person overall and an even greater sister. So.
Hey, look, I don't know how this is going to work, but I warned you if you could bring your sax. I've heard you can play the sax just a bit, and obviously that's part of your worship and part of what you can do to help out. But it's got to be fun. Did you bring your sax? I asked if you could.
Yeah, I did actually. It's sitting right here. Yep.
We'll let you choose. Holiday season is getting close. We'll let you choose just to give us just a little sampling of what you can do with the saxophone. You go when you're ready.
All right.
Amazing, dude. Amazing. Epic stuff.
Thank you.
Epic stuff. That's got to be a great escape for you. Is it a nice
Absolutely.
escape for you when it's not academics or baseball?
It is, absolutely. Music has definitely been a growing part of my life. I've been playing the saxophone since the second half of my 6th grade year, and I fell in love with it ever since. It actually grew my horizon into music, and I never thought it'd be, this important in my life. It's to now where I'm even looking to, try to do something as well as in college with it. It's just, a way to escape from, all the baseball and the academics, just to relax and, just pray freely. My favorite genre to play is probably jazz and classical. The piece I just played was a piece of my solo and ensemble solo from my 8th grade year that I actually went to state for and got a gold medal for it. So I'm very proud of that. But, music has just been, one of my comfort places in the latter half of my life right now. So very important to me. Absolutely.
Hey, man, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We're glad we found you, got to know you. We're really excited, not just about your baseball journey, because it's going to be a great one, but your life journey as well.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys for having me. Thank you.
Really great conversation. He's on the top of the list of guys you want to follow. When we come back, one of the best stories in all of 2021 on the amateur level, as well as he was a 2021 All-Star. Chris Bassitt of the A's will share his amateur journey on Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings. Perfect game. On and off the field, it's a way of life. And now, that same passion, your passion, is represented in the brand new exclusive PG Gear and Clothing line. Designed with you in mind, the looks that you live in, whether during a sweat-soaked workout or a round of BP. Make your memories in perfect game gear. Thoughtful, comfortable, perfect for you. Visit shop.perfectgame.org. It's Perfect Game Weekly. It's presented by Rawlings, and we celebrate the Atlanta Braves and their World Championship and Ozzie Albies. What a year he had, the pride of Curacao. But at the amateur level, Curacao has been represented. As a matter of fact, maybe the story at the amateur baseball level in 2021. Jurrangelo Cijntje is a both-handed pitcher. But it's not just a sideshow, something you stop and watch if only for a moment. This is a scoutable, projectable player who's in the mid-90s from the right side and in the high 80s touching 90 from the left side. He was a perfect game All-American in San Diego as well. So we wanted to know more. We went to Jupiter, Florida and got behind the scenes. He explained it and his unique background. Away we go.
My name is Jurrangelo Cijntje. I'm from Curacao. I'm naturally left-handed, but my dad is a catcher, and I grab his glove, start throwing with my right-handed, and now I can throw with my right-handed. When I came here, I was 16 years old. I played catcher with my right hand and shortstop with my right hand. My coach tell me that I have a potential so I can be a both-hand pitcher and at a good level. For me, I know it's something difficult, so like everybody see me throw with both hands, but for me it's something like natural, it's something just normal to me. The bullpen is take me like 30 minutes. I start throwing with my left hand because I get more loose with my right hand fast, so throw like 10 fastball, 5 curveball, 5 changeup, 5 sliders, and then I take a rest and then throw in my other hand. My glove, it was made by PG All-American, and it's a 6-finger glove. Before I have to go to the dugout and grab my other glove, but right now I just have to switch. I'm proud to be from Curacao because they say in the Caribbean we have the most MLB players that came from Curacao. When we have to play like the World Baseball Classic, we have to play for the Netherlands. Didi Gregorius, he played for the Netherlands and he lived also there. So sometimes when you go to Curacao, you can see them, they practice at the field, so you can talk to them too. Andrew Jones, he was one of the best center fielder in the game, and right now to be able to practice with him, me and Drew go to the field and talk to him, he gave me some advice. It's something amazing.
He made the catch!
He told me that he was watching me play in the Little League World Series too, so that was awesome. You're not seeing a lot of both-hand pitchers right now, but probably like a couple years, you're gonna see more. The best compliment that I received, that they say that I can throw with both-handed and I'm good at it. I know it's something like big that everybody is, when they see it, it's awesome, but I'm just a humble guy. I just like everybody, if they want to talk to me, I've given like some tips. I'm down for it, and I don't think myself like I'm a bigger person like nobody else, so I'm just like everybody else.
And a recent commitment to Mississippi State. Going to be really exciting to see him on Chris Lemonis' team, should he make it there. By the way, on the fun side, he's a natural left-hander as he touches upon. He eats left-handed, but he writes right-handed. Uniqueness describes Chris Bassitt, a major leaguer out of a mid-major school in the Midwest who has taken his game to the highest of levels with the Oakland A's. When we come back, our conversation with the hard-throwing, gutsy, and tough right-handed pitcher. It's Bassitt on Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings.
There's a new king in Queens. Francisco Lindor is headed to New York.
New York is great. It's a place where you can be whatever you want to be.
Every day I challenge myself to break down barriers.
Seeing others live their passion, it makes me push harder in all that I'm doing.
Man, that dude Lindor is fearless.
I'm always trying to push myself further as an athlete.
My style is limitless, just like my city.
Confidence, passion, commitment, style. That's Queens for ya.
We welcome you back to Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings. Excited to be joined by an all-star. Chris Bassitt spends time with us now from his home in North Carolina. Chris, thanks for hanging out with us. We're truly appreciative of your time. For you, great athlete in high school in Ohio. When did you know for you this was something you were passionate about, something that you could actually do for a living? When did it click?
I think it's so easy for people that kind of have so-called a golden road paved for them to the big leagues. Like, they were a superstar at 16. Everyone was like, listen, you're the best of the best. You're the best in the state. Every scout's coming to see you. Every college wants you. I would say I've been a late bloomer basically my entire career, including basically at the big league level. I think people in high school, they were like, well, you might be good enough to play in college. I was always extremely competitive. I just didn't have the skill set to be like elite in the state kind of thing. And then college, I still wasn't elite, but I was still hyper competitive. Luckily, where I was at in Akron, we had guys that were in the big leagues that were working out there, and I would just follow them around. Joe Inglet was basically the number one guy. I was 4 or 5 in the morning, I was going to yoga classes with him before workouts and stuff like that. And then I got to pro ball, and I'm still hyper competitive, but the skill set kind of started to match that. So I think what drove me is just my competitive nature of like, I want to beat you. I want to beat you at every single thing, whether we're playing ping pong, whether we're playing a math test, whatever it may be. I want to be number one at. And then not only that, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect to be an all-star. I didn't expect to be in the big leagues. I didn't expect to throw a complete game or whatever it may be. So when that does happen for me, like, I am grateful, but it's not like I'm grateful like, oh yes, I made an all-star team. I'm more grateful of like all the people around me that saw stuff in me that I didn't at the time, and they just pushed me and pushed me and pushed me. And knowing who I was and knowing who I am, they were like, all right, we can push this guy really hard. He's going to be able to take it. But we have to, as coaches, luckily for me, I had great coaches, but we as coaches have to push this guy to his max potential. And they did. And that's what chokes me up. And that's what gets me like really emotional about all that stuff, is just guys that saw stuff when I didn't.
You've changed. I mean, you've been fearless to change, though. I mean, you've evolved your slider. All of a sudden this year, if I'm to put the slider and the curveball together, I saw a lot more of those combined usage. Embracing change even when you've had success like you did at the end of 20. Kind of describe that evolution, how you've embraced the ability to like, hey, this guy knows how to throw a slider. Sergio Romo has some good advice for me. I'm going to throw more sliders. How has that grown for you?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things for me, I fell somewhat into a trap early where I was trying to be everyone in the big leagues. Like I like watching baseball. I like watching the sport. I like watching film. So I was watching guys like Shohei Ohtani, and I was like, I need to be him. I was watching guys like, coming up for myself personally, I was watching guys like Chris Sale, and I was like, all right, I need Chris Sale's slider. And then once I kind of matured enough to realize I just need to be me and fine-tune myself, my sinker's my best pitch. So everything else has to come off my sinker. Learn what your strengths are, maximize those strengths, and then go off that.
That's great stuff. That's great stuff. What advice do you have for them? They're 16, they're 17, they're 18. They want to be you. They want to have that opportunity. They've listened to the rest of this interview. They know how hard you have to work, but what advice do you have for them?
Oh, I would say, and this is going to be obviously pretty simple, but I would say no matter how talented you are, if you're not a great person, you're not going to go too far. When I leave a room, the people are like, he's a good person. He's a good guy. You want him in the room. So I just think if you are a good person, you're a good human, people, organizations, teams, coaches, your family, your friends, they want you around. So it's a lot easier to so-called recruit a good human when a coach is going head over heels saying, listen, this is a guy you want on your team. To be the best you, I think you got to be the best person before the best athlete.
Well, this is a virtual room, but you left this room a better place, and all the athletes and we certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.
What a memorable conversation, and we appreciate Chris for his time, as well as Andrew Wiggins and Jangelo Cijntje, who joined us at Jupiter at the wonderful event down in Florida. This is Perfect Game TV's Perfect Game Weekly, and if you want to find us anywhere else when you're not seeing us on television, don't forget on your smart device to download the app Perfect Game TV. From a ballpark or a studio, in this case near you, the only show devoted to amateur baseball. My name is Darren Sutton. This is Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings.